Okay, before starting my presentation, I want to ask you a question. If you are an English teacher, will you always give the feedback when the students make mistake? Will you? Yes. So if you always give the feedback to them, will you? If you always give the feedback to them, and do you think that will make them feel lazy or not to find the answer, or you will push them get better? How do you think? Better? Maybe. And then let's go starting my presentation, then you will know, okay, the answer, okay. So the topic of my presentation is the rule of implicitly and explicitly corrective feedback in Persian speaking. Evil learners and awareness of accuracy in English grammar. Here is the citation. And the contents include 7 parts. Here is the first one is introduction, literature review, and methodology, and results, finding, conclusion, and my own reflection. Here is the terms of this research. The EFL, as you know, that English as a foreign language, right? And ESL, so that's English as a second language. And then that's my introduction that include 2 parts that go the background and the purpose of study. So let's talk about the background before that. The first major points that I would say the notion of the error and the corrective feedback is a controversial issue. And the second one, researchers that have been concerned with discovering the most effective ways of providing the corrective feedback to help students improve their written performances. And the study was to investigate the rule of implicitly and explicitly corrective feedback in the evil learners, grammatical accuracy, and the structure of English. So let's talk about the Ferris. The recent research in 2001 that with Ferris, he mentions the report the direct, that means the explicitly, clearly to inform students what you are right and wrong, and that corrective feedback gives more correct reversions, 88% than indirect one. That's 71%. And the other research that in 1994, that's why, and in her study, the effectiveness of the form-focused instruction, and only learners apply of the structure of the target language is more useful to help learners apply the target language structures. Now let's talk about the methodology that includes 3 parts. The first one is the participants and instrument, and then the procedures. And I will focus on the procedures to let you understand the value of this research. Before I'm going to the mind map to let you understand the participants, that include 60 Iranian, Persian-speaking pre-immediate learners. And the other, I would say, they were randomly divided into 2 groups that we call implicit group and explicit group. That we make it the E group and the I group. So here's the map. There is 60 participants. They are E4 learners and the pre-intermediate level, and they will have, before they start the procedure, and they will have the abstract placement test and divide into 2 groups. So they will make their proficiency level clearly to separate them into 2 groups. And the other parts, let's talk about the instruments. And the first, that was an English equivalence test. That equivalence task just make the student to translate or translates to make the sentence in the Persian language. Like we make the Chinese, translate our Chinese sentence into English, but involve two grammar. That is a simple present and a simple past tense. And then they will have the courses in their institute and include the two forms of simple present and simple past tense. Okay, so to their syllabus, they will learn a lot the structures, and then they will have the English grammar test. So, and they will get into two groups, and after the English equivalence test, they will receive the class they will be teach those two structures and emphasize, try to make them understand. So that will, the period will take the 3 sections, and then till the midterms. So each of the classes takes 90 minutes and 3 times a week. So it means there will 70 minutes to have the class, and then they will at least 20 minutes to have the test. So when will they have the pretest? Before, okay, they will see the map before they have those classes, and then they will have the pretest before they start in the teaching. So the contents of the courses include the corrective feedback provision and the text administrations. That after 4 sections, they will have the English grammar post-test. And then the researcher will collect the grades of the students, and then they will key into the analysis. So let's talk about the results. It shows the pre-test and the post-test. They use the t-test to see what's the differences between these two groups. And also they will have the independent simple t-test to the E groups and the I groups. Here you see the table 1. It shows the explicit group. Here you see the mean score. You see the 3.6. The difference is quite small. Okay, and you will see the significant values. There we see 0.000. It means significant difference. Okay. And the table 2, here you see the implicit group. Here you can see the mean score is 2.6. So quite small gaps. Okay, between each other. Okay. And the last part that we see also 0.000. You get a significant difference. And then the other results that have the t-test, both those two groups use the t-test to get a result. Here you can see the significance values. You see 0.006. So these two groups, they have the significant difference. Okay. So let's talk about the findings. It depends on this research. They find both explicitly and implicitly correct feedback strategies have useful effects on learners' improvement. And explicitly corrected feedback is more useful than implicit one in the teaching and learning process. The other conclusion that have the two major points that present study indicates that if learners improve the accuracy and the level of the awareness in English grammar. And in EFL setting, teachers in German and corrective feedbacks can improve learners' language proficiency. And now that's my reflection. So, will corrective feedback lead English learners to reduce the power of problem solving? I think if you can give the students positive feedback and let them know why you need to alter and correct, that will help them a lot. But sometimes if you use this study is implicit strategies, you will underline or make them understand where you will fall, and you can supply the form of the answer. Okay? And the second question that which shows teachers apply the corrective feedback for learners on papers and written assignment. So teachers need to do it. Okay. That's okay. So I know everyone, you got your purpose, you get your goals. So please to do it, and you will get your results. But whatever you get success or you get failure, don't be knocked down. So here is the word for you. Failure is the mother of success. So thanks for your listening.